This video is for Colm. What I normally do, Colm, you'll find it in all the videos I do. I open two tabs in my browser. One where I've logged into the back of the site, which is this one. Just move that video recording thing down. And in another tab, that's the front of the site. The reason I do that is so that I can quickly see, by refreshing that, any changes I've made in the back of the website. So we go into the back. This is actually called the dashboard, which is the back of a WordPress site. Your site is a little bit different than most other people's in the way that we've set it up. So I'll talk you through the bits I can. For instance, these latest publications and things, so that you can edit and adjust those. Right, go back to the dashboard. First thing we do, down the left hand side, you look for pages. Go to all pages in the drop down, and here you'll see the pages that we've got for you. You'll see that this one is marked front page, so that's the home page that we can see there. To edit it, you can either, when you hover over it, you'll see these little sub menus come up here. You can either click edit there or just click on the title itself. Now, the speed of working in the back of the site is all dependent really on your internet speed, and obviously only ever really do this on a desktop PC or a laptop. Now the page is loaded, you've got the title up here. Everything that you see here is in boxes that correspond to the front of the site. So for instance, we've got text there, we've got something called a divider, more text here, and an image on the side. Now that's, you would normally have to open all these boxes to find out what's in each one, but there is an easier way. Up here, and it's easier to work with actually, you've got little icons. If you hover over them, they'll tell you what they are. For instance, that's a desktop view, and that's the one that we'll click on to work with. So click on that, and now you'll actually see a visual interpretation of the front of the site. When you hover over, don't just randomly click, just hover to actually locate the part that you want to edit. The blue boxes on the outer areas are the sections. What a section is from one side of the computer screen to the other. The only time we really use this is like with this one with the title. I put an image into the background of that section, but you won't really need to concentrate on those, so I'll stick to the main things. If we come down here, also the green, that's a row. A row can be, I'll just show you. You always click on that little gear icon to open those, to open anything actually. So click on the gear icon. You'll see there the column structure. It's a 2-column structure, which is 50% of each one. You can change that, but I wouldn't advise doing that with your site the way that we've laid it out. You can see here the different options. You could have 3/3 of a row that create these columns, but we'll ignore that all for now. I'll just close that down. We've got the 2 columns, that's the one that we want. When you close these boxes that come up, just use the X. If you've made changes, you use the tick sign in the green. Now to change text, so we've got a text box, we've got a divider box, which again you shouldn't really need to change that. It's got all different settings for that divider, including the color. which is the red that we'd sort of gone with. So that's fine. Go down to the text. It will open a text module. Now you'll see here you've got two options. You can work in visual for the text box, or you can work with the raw text. Now, the most of the time I prefer to work with the raw text. The reason for that is if you copy and paste a load of text from, let's say, a Word document, you put it into the visual by copying and pasting from your Word document, you'll find it picks up a lot of formatting. This is supposed to be what you see is what you get, but it is not. It's the same with all WordPress sites. So if possible, work in the text side at the back. Maybe on the other side of me. It may be awkward at times if you want to add a link to another page. If you want to bold a couple of words out, then you'll need to go to visual, highlight it just the same as you would with Word. These, if you hover over these, they'll tell you what they are. Right, that's bold. That's to link, where you would link that text to another page. But they're pretty good in showing you what to do as you go along. Again, when you've finished, no matter what you've done in the visual, go to the text, always to finish it off, just to keep the formatting, and use the tick sign for the text there. Images are a little bit different, mainly because you really need an image editor to get images the right size. You can see here that image only takes up a small part of that column. If you were to just put a large image in there, it would totally ruin the layout, because it would fill the whole space up. This would get pushed down. I tend to make sure that I crop the images first in an image editor before I start. And it opens exactly like a text module, but it's called an image module. And you'll see the image there. To change that, you click on the image. It opens something called your media library. In there, it's got all the images that we've used on the site. If you want to add a new one, you'd go to Upload Files, Select Files, which would open up onto your computer so that you can upload a new one. I'm not going to do it, obviously. We've already chosen that image, so I'll put that one back in. It gives you some information on the right hand side about the image. For instance, that one is 224 pixels wide by 300 pixels high. So if you replace the image, you need something similar to keep the symmetry and the neatness that we've actually got there. When you're happy with the image that you've chosen, just do upload an image, and that will put that image there. With the design settings, you can align it. This has already been done. It's been aligned to the center. What you will need to do at times as well is to see how this is going to look on different screen sizes. So by default, this is on a desktop, because that's what we're working in. Click on this little module, icon here, and you'll see desktop, tablet and phone. So if we wanted to see what it looks like on a tablet, we click here. Use the normal part of your browser to scroll down that page to see how everything falls into place on a tablet. You could change the alignment, so you might want to put it over onto the left hand side, but obviously it's better centered with this. And that's really about it for the images that you need. As always, press the tick box when you've finished with what you're doing. Now, these publications are a little bit more difficult. These are actually called blurb modules, which puts those little icons at the right hand side. If you wanted to put a new one in, but you edit it, pretty much as I've explained for the text. You open the module settings, so blurb settings, go to visual, we can see there's a link there, go back to text. When you edit existing ones, be careful because you've got different things like bits of code, so that one is strong. Whatever you do, don't knock those out. M is for italic. These ones are quite tricky, but if you wanted to add a new one, the easiest way to do it, let's say it's at the bottom, which makes it easier, or it could be this one here. When you hover over it, you've got this little double icon here, duplicate model. Just duplicate it, and you'll see now you've got two. Open one of them up and put the new information in. That's the easiest way to do it. I'll X that out and I'll delete that because we don't actually want that one there. You delete it with this little trash can sign. No matter that you use the tick boxes to save, when you've finished and you're happy with the things that you've done, you click this green button up here, which is the save button, and that will save all your new changes. May take a little while again, depending on the internet speed, but you'll see a little circle rotating round until it's actually completed what it's supposed to do. You'll see up here, page updated, view page, but I always go to the front and just refresh the page of my browser, and that way I can see that the changes have actually happened. Now you've got Collaborators Corner page. If you want to edit that, you go to all pages again. You'll see the one Collaborators Corner. This one is pretty much exactly as we've talked about with the images and the text for the home page, but I'll just show you the quick way to duplicate that for another person. Go to the desktop view. Now in this case, to duplicate it, it makes more sense to actually duplicate the row because there are two columns in there. So how you would do that is you hover over the row, which is the green, same as we did for duplicating text, duplicate row, and that will give you another row there. Then you just go into the title or the text or the image and change them for the new person. We don't need it, so I'll delete that row. Same thing, you'd save the page. Now on the front, the other one that you've got is the Science, Communication and Blog. This has been set up at the moment. I know you'd like to add blog posts sort of a bit further down the road. Go to all pages, Science, Communication and Blog. Get to desktop view. Highlight the row, then the module, which the modules are always in the dark grey. Click the icon. Some of these are a bit tricky at times, you have to bear with it and try to be a little bit careful. Now that's all text that we've got for this one, so you just put your text in there or change the text that you've got. Now to make this work as a blog page, how we're going to do it is to make any blogs that you do appear further down the page. I can't put a blog module in yet because we don't actually have any blogs for it to pull in, and I can show you another video I did for someone else to show you how to make blog posts. They're pretty similar to the pages. They're also on the right hand side. We go to posts, all posts. We haven't got anything there at the moment. When we have, let me know. I'll put the blog module in here, and what it will do is to pull an excerpt of a blog post that you've done onto that page, that when it's clicked on will take people to the blog post itself so that they can read it. Whenever you finish working, Colm, always log out. Up here in the right hand side, little box, just click log out. And that's it for the moment. If we add and do different things, I'll do videos for those. You've got two areas here. One is the header with the menu, and down the bottom is the footer. Those are in a different section because they're universal and they appear on each page. You shouldn't really have any reason to change those at the moment, but if you do, again, I'll do a quick video to show you how to edit those. Okay, that's it, I think, for this one.